My audio is clear, sir. Audio as well as video.
Yes, sir. Your audio is clear. Video also is fine, sir. It's coming well.
Good evening. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Ganesh.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Namaste, ji.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
You are welcome on our platform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a wonderful opportunity to interact with the
Our BTech students are also there. I sent a message regarding that. Please join the lecture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So most of the students they commented, okay, sir, we will join. Might be they will late join because they are not so sincere. So they will start after
Yes,
10 like this. I hope so. So you are no problem. No problem. You please. Okay.
Yes, sir.
मुझे साहब स्टार्ट करेंगे थोड़ी देर करेंगे अभी और
नहीं स्टार्ट करेंगे सर अभी मैं एक्चुअली YouTube पे लाइव अब शुरू हो गया है विल स्टार्ट नाउ
Okay,
yeah
sir. I will
good evening
share.
good evening to all
Yes,
yes sir you can go ahead sir you can start
नहीं आप इंट्रोड्यूस करा दीजिए ना
ओके वही कर रहा हूं मैं एक मिनट
आप ऑडियंस को इंट्रोड्यूस करा दीजिए उसके बाद फिर स्टार्ट कर लेते
yeah so good evening to all so I'm welcoming for today's this session this is a part of our webinar series on opportunities in engineering so this is fifth talk so which is today's theme is route map for engineering education so today with us the Dr. BKC Ganesh so he's PhD in mechanical engineering currently he's head of the department for mechanical engineering in engineering college and he's an alumni of BITS Pilani and he's giving a lot of sessions to motivate the student and as well as to prepare the student for international opportunities like IELTS and other competitive exams. So I'm without wasting much time, I welcome Dr. Ganesh to just deliver a wonderful lecture on today's theme. So thank you very much and welcome you, sir. So take up this session and please enlightening the participants and as well as students with your golden words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, good evening, friends. Today I am going to start this particular engineering education route map. So, I am very much delighted. So, I am very much happy to discuss my views. Whatever these things that I have been discussing with you, that I will be discussing with you, are most of my personal experiences. And I'm very happy to share with you so that my exposure and experience for the last 40 years and particularly for the last 20 years, I can say in the field of engineering education will be very much helpful for you to give an outlook as well as to give a route map for you what you should do in your future. Okay, so let us go now. So today's topic that I would like to cover, are you clear? Can you see my PPT?
Yes, sir, it is clear, sir. You can go ahead.
Yes, I will go ahead. So what I will be discussing is that just I will give some brief introduction of our present education system. So what I would like to stress is that this education system which we are in presently, mostly that gives us a sort of a job or something like that. Where we go for a job and we retire by 60 years and have some pension and that. So our education system should be more independent which will give a sort of a financial freedom such that by 30 or 40 years you should become a good entrepreneur or have some startup or have good money and all that, and do a lot of things in your free time. So that is what I would like to presently concentrate in my video lecture. And it will be going ahead with an advice to the students and roadmap topics. The roadmap topics will be the importance of learning, sharing, creativity, and planning, time management, upgradation, and advice to the parents. I hope some of the parents also will be joining right with us. So first, I would like to go ahead with this poem. So it clearly says what we are actually. So if you are going to say, you are not your age, not the size of the clothes you wear, you are not your weight or the color of your hair, you are not your name or the dimples in your cheeks, you are all the books you read and all the words you speak, and you are croaky morning voice and the smiles you try to hide. You are the sweetness in your laughter and every tear you have cried. You are the songs you sing so loudly when you know you are all alone. You are the places that you have been to and the one that you call home. You are the things that you believe in and the people that you love. You are the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You are made of so much beauty, but it seems, please concentrate on this last 3 lines. आप बहुत जोर से देख लीजिए ये तीनों लाइन। ये कोई टेक्निकल सेमिनार नहीं है, ये हमारे लिए है, हमारे लिए है और हमके लिए है, हमारा बारे में है। This is our story only. So please concentrate on this last 3 lines. But it seems that you forgot when you decided that you are defined by all the things you are not. So we are actually our own feelings, okay, our own aspirations, our own songs, okay, our own photos, we are represented. We are not represented by our degrees or by the wealth we gain or by the whatever the things that we have. We are not defined by that. So actually, if you are going to see the education system, okay, what is the generalized education system that has been coming from the last 50 years? Now it has changed. It has drastically changed. This is one of the जो जहीर साहब ने हमारे को ये सेमिनार अभी रखा है, ये पुराना एजुकेशन सिस्टम नहीं है, ये बिल्कुल अलग तरीका है, नया है, डायनामिक है। हम पूरा तरफ से ये पुराना एजुकेशन सिस्टम जो है वो हम बदलने को सोच रहे हैं। We are changing this system actually. We are trying to do our level best. So that is the old education system is graduates are coming into this factory. There is the education system and there is no intelligence. Intelligence is drained out. Intelligence is there, but it's drained out. And discipline, where I call it as planning, it is also drained out. Creativity is drained out. There are some robots coming out. So, वो जो अभी एजुकेशन सिस्टम है उसके लिए बहुत महीने you have to spend a lot of money on that so that the student gets even into LKG or this system. Okay. And this is an education system where you ask the fish to fly and the bird to swim. Okay. So we are not identifying the extraordinary talents of an individual and training him in a specific area. So probably that the creativity, which is very important, that has not been very much supported. So in the 1950, the American father is telling to his student, to his son, okay, where the wife is cooking some dinner and all that, be sure to finish your dinner. There are children starving in China and India. But today, yeah, this generation father is telling to his son, be sure to finish your homework. There are children studying in China and India. So there is a drastic change in our perception okay, in the way that we go and make some huge jobs in the abroad countries. We become globally recognized in the field of engineering education. We are highly talented. We are in the every sector of software and aerospace, metallurgical, and all these fields. We are now pioneering. Okay, so this is our country today. So even the American parent is very much scared of our Indian education system and the talent of an Indian education system. So this was one of the slide from Ken Robinson lecture, where generally most of the +2 students, this is not an engineering, +2 students are sitting in a big room and they are getting some, I mean, it's not a knowledge, but they are making some things out of into their brain, sitting for long hours, 12 to 14 hours to make this particular thing, okay, to make clear in some exam or something. So I want to say for the students, okay, some important things according to I'm also an educational psychologist. So I want to say there are only two things, okay. That is, one is black and white, day and night, good or bad, failure and success, moon and blue sky, okay, and all these things. So, and if you say better, best, and all that, they are the superlatives, okay. But there are only two things. That is, one is day and night or failure and success. So we have not been trained to. Accept failure. Okay, we are only trying to concentrate, or we are only trying to highlight the success. But failure is one of the particular thing that is, I mean to say that failure is a training. Okay, I believe that failure is a training for the success to happen. So if you are going to see the moon and blue sky, for example, you compare the blue sky and the moon. Moon is only very small, and let us assume that the moon is a success and blue sky is a failure. If suppose the blue sky, there is no sky, there is no blue sky, and the sky is also white, okay, how will be the moon being enlightened? I mean, how can you see the moon? How can you compare the moon? I mean to say that the failure that is at the back end, we forget to give appreciation to the background. But it is the background that is playing an important role. It is highlighting, even though this moon is small, it is highlighting the importance of the background. So failure, I say, always Edison, he said that he never failed in inventing the bulb, okay, 1,000 times. He never said that. He only said that I understood how I could not make a bulb by 1,000 times. Okay, he only said that, okay, how could not make a bulb in 1,000 different ways. So that failure is nothing but it is a training, but we are accustomed. Our brains are wired, our brains are tuned in such a way that only success is going to be accepted in this world. But no, it's not correct. There is the failure. Failure is the stepping stone for the success. And failure is a sort of a training. We should understand that. But sometimes there is inevitable. Sometimes what we have is that there is sometimes problems coming up. There is a failure that's coming up. At that particular point of time, you should be in such a way that you should be running with a lot of positive thoughts, okay, and a lot of positive mindset, such that you can minimize that failure and you can convert that particular failure into the success. So one basic example I want to give is that if you want to turn white paint to black paint, suppose black paint is a failure and white paint is a success. White paint to the black paint, just you put some small 5 or 6 drops into the white paint, black paint, you mix it to the white paint and it immediately turns into black. But if you want to change the black paint to the white paint, you need a lot of you need lot of white paint. Okay, in the same way, you need lot of positive thoughts whenever you have come across some sort of downfalls or some sort of failures in your life. But you have to also should make your whatever the problem is there, because one of the old king, he gave one small exercise to the students, that he wanted to make a line as small without erasing it. So one of the clever student had drawn a bigger line with respect to small line. So you should always compare your problem to be small while you have encountered very big problems in your life and have become successful and come to this particular stage where you are going to excel in your future life. So you should also try to understand that there is, for every particular problem, there is a third side of problem. Because, for example, your parents, suppose they wanted to make you to go into IIT and all that, where you have 10 lakh students appearing every year, and only 10,000 students get into the IITs and all that. You are interested and your parents also interested, but there is a third side of problem. In our time, when we are writing the mains and all that, GATE it was called, that time what happened, only the wrong answer used to be given. So in the 4 multiple choice, only one wrong answer will be there and we used to answer. But today I have seen most of the question papers, they are giving multiple answers. A and B are correct, B and C are correct, all the 3 are correct, like that. So there is a third side of problem that is coming into the problem. So it is not your problem, it is not your parents' problem, but it is the third side. For example, you have prepared physics well, probably they would have given the chemistry, or you would have prepared both physics and chemistry, but that year they would have given both the things as tough and maths as a very easy sort of this thing. So always you should try to understand that we are not the persons who have committed the problem, or we are not the persons who are responsible for any particular outcome or the particular result. There is always, for any particular this thing, there is a third side that I call it as an environment, that is called as environment. So environment is going to play a crucial role in deciding the success of a particular aspect and all the things. So, and irrespective of whatever the things, if you want to stay happy in your life, you should have this particular index that whatever we are doing, we expect very high expectations, but the reality is that there is some lower thing that is coming to us, but we should get satisfied. Contentment and satisfaction will raise your happiness irrespective of whatever these stages that you are going across your life. So here this expectation comes from imagination, those around us, past. Okay, so if you, this is the expectation curve and this is the reality, there is some gap. Okay, so if suppose you are having lower expectations or possibly no expectations, whatever you will get, you will really enjoy that. So this is the advice that I would like to give to the students. One is that take the failure as a training only, not as a big aspect, and try to get the success out of that. And now once I have completed that, now I explore the various things that we require to have for an engineering education, to be a successful engineer, to make maximum out of that, to make our own life from the engineering background, irrespective of the, I am saying irrespective of the branch, whether it is a computer science or mechanical or anything. But if you go into the engineering sector, okay, rather than the generalized arts or the commerce or the science sector, what you can explore, what you can do, what you can achieve in your life. Okay, that I will, what are all the 4 parameters? There are only 4 parameters, not some 20 or 100 parameters to excel in engineering education. So I will just tell you those 4 important factors so that you can really, if you implement those 4 important factors in engineering education, irrespective of the branch, okay, you can really make a lot out of that particular engineering education. That route map I want to give you today in this particular seminar. I once again thank the directors of management as well as the Jahir sir, who have been instrumental in organizing this particular workshop. So whatever the feelings that I am having, whatever the expertise, whatever the whatever the knowledge that I have gained over these past years, I can share to the younger generation so that it will be helpful for you and make your life a more successful one. Okay, so let us go into this particular route map. So, first of all, you have to learn that you have to note that very important factor in your engineering, okay, is that you have to learn. Because if you are removing this L, what is remaining in the learning? Earning. So, how much you are going to gain the knowledge, that much earning you are going to get. This is the most fundamental aspect that I go and teach to every student in my class in the first class. So your learning will not be unfruitful. Okay, your learning will not go into waste at any point of time. This learning starts at childhood only. You are thinking that this learning is coming by the joining the engineering or intermediate or something. No, this learning has started right when you are in your mother's womb. It has started. So you, as a small child, you learn. Okay, you actually concentrate or you actually listen to the words what the elder people are speaking. You try to gather the knowledge and all that, and slowly after 6 months or 1 year, you start speaking out atta, tata, mama. So, somebody is actually, some kid is actually coming out. Okay, so that is a wonderful experience. You know, the child speaks to you and calls you by your name, some name, atta, tata, and all that. That's a fascinating experience. So, what is that? You are learning a language. By the childhood, you are learning the language. Okay, you are learning the language in your childhood. Okay, so you are learning so many sentences and all. You are assimilating the sentences. You are making beautiful words out of that with your cute voice. You are speaking to the world. So this learning is a process which has started, and learning is a continuous process. Even a famous ENT doctor, for example, he should also look into the Google. He should also attend the conferences, share the ideas with his fellow doctors, and see what is the technology that is coming new, what is the process that he has to actually learn to keep him updated, upgraded, and all that. So the first important roadmap for engineering education, if you want to excel as an engineer, is that you should have this capability of learning. You should learn the things. Learning is not only in the books. Okay, now the learning is everywhere, YouTube, and you have a lot of social networking sites and everything. Okay, you can learn. I have mastered the process of learning. I wanted to do the 3D printing. I want to learn the 3D printing for the last 1 year. I have started as 3D printing learner from the YouTube videos and lot of sessions and all that. Now I have got my own machine and I have produced my own parts. I'll show you that in the later slides. I will show you. So learning is that the mind is not a vessel that needs filling, but wood that needs igniting. So it is not, mind is not that which you feel so many things, you just feel it in the mind. It's not that. Okay, it requires some stuff which is igniting. And education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. That's also very important. So, and learning is combined, should be combined with the sharing. Okay, learning is to be combined with the sharing. So, what is the importance of sharing? I will discuss with you 2 examples. Earlier, at suppose some 50 to 60 years back or 60 to 70 years back, there was an ice cream vendor. Okay, and this ice cream vendor, he used to sell the ice cream in the glass vessels, small glass vessels, glass utensils, you can say. And side by that ice cream vendor shop, I can say, there was some biscuit wafer person selling his wafer. One day, somehow it happened that there was more crowd and all the glasses got filled up with the ice cream and there was no ice cream, but still crowd is there. Then suddenly this wafer person came to the ice cream vendor and he offered his wafer, why don't you put in the wafer and give it to them? So that is how the cone and all these things have come out. And Coca-Cola also, there used to be fountain plants where Coca-Cola, it used to take huge cost for the manufacturer to establish these fountain plants, such that that was actually a machine where you get the Coca-Cola out of that particular machine. Then one of his friends told, I'll give you idea, will you give me some profit in your this thing, he said, in your plant. So he said, okay, no problem. You come out with your idea. Then he shared that instead of manufacturing by means of a fountain, why don't you bottle it? So this is a lot of things happen in the engineering sector by the process of learning the new things as well as sharing the knowledge. So this is the first important route map principle that you need to have in your life as an engineer, that you should have the learning and sharing. That is one of the points. Another thing is that you should have the hunger. So to describe this example of hunger, I will discuss a small story. This was a 50 years back story. I generally go back to some archives, grandalayam.com and all that, to go through the 50 years back or 100 years back literature, which was even published by some English British presses, such that I want to see what is their way of lifestyle and what is their culture and all that I want to know. I want to have some knowledge. So if you could see that one, I can say that there was one story, one beautiful story that I have gone through it. I will explain that story. So there were two friends actually. So the two friends went to another friend in an old car, Plymouth car that was there at that time, 50 years back story I'm telling. So they went to their home, friend's home, somewhere far off from 50 kilometers or something. There was no other mode of communication those days, only some bullock cart and all these things, or some train, steam train. Probably train is also not connected to most of the villages, and buses ruled out completely. So they had their own car. This big friend, very wealthy friend, had some car. So two of those friends went to another friend's house at a different village. So, and that friend got so excited, he was very happy, and he asked them to take some rest, and he got his house people, his wife, to prepare a wonderful meals and all that. So finally, in the night, they were served the meals. So as soon as my meals were served, okay, immediately this person, who is a wealthy person, he started saying, he asked the person who is giving the hospitality, he asked, how is the food, how is the sambar and all that. Then this wealthy friend started saying, oh, if you want to have the sambar, or if you want to have the biryani, you should go to that particular place. That is a wonderful place. Okay, there it is very beautiful, very tasty and all. This wealthy friend, this poor friend got annoyed. So the same thing repeated for 2 days. Whatever the tiffin he was serving, same thing. This tiffin, if you go to that Greenland's hotel or some hotel, or if you go to that Bawarchi, if you go to Paradise, oh, that very beautiful taste. He was not enjoying any of the dishes, or probably he is just comparing with some other. So this poor friend got annoyed. Okay, 2 days happened, and finally on the third day night, evening, sometime around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, they started back to their destination. So what happened was that they were traveling, and it was almost like 6 or 7 o'clock, and suddenly it was very common, because those were very old cars and imported from Britain, England and all that, and they have a lot of spare parts, there are a lot of castings and all that inside, and the car broke down, and he tried to fix it for 2 or 3 hours. It was 10 o'clock, deep dark, somewhere the nearby place, everywhere it's a jungle, there is nowhere to go, and somehow they, they were very frustrated, and somehow they left the car and started going in the deep jungle in search of any house or hamlet or some nearby place. Fortunately, after 1 hour of traveling in the jungle, they came to a small house in a village, and it was actually hut actually. So they knocked at the door, and an old man came out of that. It was almost like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. They were very hungry and all that. So he opened the door. He asked, what is the problem? What is the problem? He asked. Then this wealthy friend replied, we are starving. We don't have any food from the last 7 to 8 hours. Please give us some food. Immediately, that household lady got up. Okay, she cooked some rice, and this old gentleman, went to the nearby tamarind tree, and he cut the tamarind, and they made a nice chutney out of the tamarind. Okay, and there was some house-made ghee and all that. Then they cooked the food within 15 to 20 minutes, and they served the food. They brought some banana leaves, and they served the food. So immediately both of them, because they were very hungry and all that, and immediately they ate the food, and that was the instance where this wealthy friend said, "Oh, what a beautiful food! For the first time in my life, I am having the food." The problem is not with the food. There should be some hunger with you. That means you should feel thirsty to drink the water, to enjoy the taste of the water. You should feel, first of all, thirsty. To enjoy the food, you should feel the hunger. That is very important. So, for both this learning and sharing activities that I have discussed as the route map in engineering education, you should have the hunger. I see some of the final year students, they come to the examination. I go as an observer, and they just come and they write for some 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and they just keep quiet and give. Sometimes they give an empty paper and go away. It should not be the case. There should be some hunger. There should be some passion. There should be some, what I can say, there should be some sort of an eagerness to learn the things, to pass an exam, to qualify for a degree, to get a good job, to go up in the society, to make something new. So these things, what I am saying, this hunger is one of the important things that will help you make a beautiful life of your work. Another thing is the flow. So this was a very 25 years back story when I was learning basic programming. You don't know basic programming. Now C, C++, Java, Python, only these things are there. That time basic programming was to be there. And I learned that basic programming 25 or 30 years back, I don't remember. So in the afternoon, sir gave us time to practice some of it. Computer was very much new actually. So in the afternoon, sir gave us, he used to go for meals, and he used to give the computer for us to practice. Only one day I was only there, and while I was doing the computer programming, I got bored with that, because all the programs, 2 or 3 programs, I got it executed. Next, immediately I am seeing what are there in the computer. I have seen some game, some Picasso game or something, I don't remember. Some game I have seen, and I got involved in that game. Finally, at evening 6 o'clock, sir came and knocked the door. He asked me, the room was entirely, there was no AC and all at that time. The fan was off. It was suffocating. The sir came and asked me, "What are you doing in this room?" He asked me. I did not hide anything. I said, "Game, I am playing games." So I got so involved in that computers that I can say it as a flow, where you get detached with the time. Whenever you feel something interested, whenever you feel something live, whenever you feel something cool, whenever you feel doing that particular thing gives you more joy, You get involved in that. That is called as the flow. So flow is associated with two things. One is the difficulty of the task as well as the skill level. If the task is too difficult for you and your skill is limited, you get anxiety in that particular, doing that particular aspect, doing that particular job. And if you have more skill, but the task is very easy, the task is at a lower level, then you feel bored. But if you have both of these things, that is the task plus skill, both of them, okay, are at on par. They are same. Your task is also easy, so you have a good skill in that. Then you have this flow you can observe in the high-end musicians, those who are operating orchestra and all that, high-end researchers and all that. So they get detached from that. They don't identify as a personality or something. They get involved in that job that they are doing. That is the flow. So if you want to excel in that particular, in every aspect of your life, in every job that you do, you need to have the flow. That means your task and your skill level should be matched. They should be mapped properly so that you can have the flow in that particular aspect. So two things which will actually enhance your learning skills as well as sharing skills is that you should have the hunger, the first point. Another thing is that you should have the flow in your life. The second most important thing that you should have for the route map to excel in engineering is that you should have the creativity. Now the world is changing. There is a lot of startups are coming. You have the Ola Electric coming out in a shorter period. And before we drive the Tesla of America, Elon Musk Tesla, Americans will drive the Ola Electric. That is made purely at Hassan plant near Bangalore in Karnataka. That is the fun of this electric, this advancement of the technology. The complete world is changing right now. We are having autopilot in Tesla car, electric cars, solar electricity, everything. This is being essentially done by the creators. Okay. So creativity now in the software or whatever the field that you are going to take now, they are asking, they are testing your level of creativity. How creative you are rather than the degrees. They can give the training for you, even you are a 60%. There are some companies in Pune and Nashik, manufacturing plants. They are not asking your degree also. I am telling you, they are asking you how many backlogs you might be having. They are not worried about that. They are giving the same salary as to the graduate students who are having degree. If you have the course completion, there are some companies in Pune and Nashik, okay, and what they are giving, they are just taking the use of your skill set. That's it. For that, they are not asking any degree and all that. That is the state of today's workforce. So you should have the skill, you should have the capability, you should have the capacity to work in an environment, to adjust to that environment, okay. And then what is going to happen is that you are going to make a lot of money. So the importance of creativity is day by day increasing. So what is happening here is that creativity is being given a lot of importance today. Most of the MNC companies and all, they are checking how creative you are. Rather than, they are not worried you are having 60% or something degree and all that. No, that's not the criteria. How well you can make things out of the task, that is very important. So creativity, all the software companies or manufacturing companies or the automobile companies or the aerospace companies, whatever the industry you are going to take today, they are looking for some sort of creativity. That is where the startups are coming. There is a lot of people are becoming economically, financially free by the age of 35, 40. They are earning a lot of money and they are relaxing. They are going for abroad destinations for tours and travels, enjoying their life and all that. It is no more. You go into a job and you work for 60 years, you live on a mega pension and all that. That age is gone right now. You should have this concept of creativity. How to develop that creativity also I'll tell you. That is also important. That is incomplete if I don't give you the tips of how to develop the creativity and all. My own life example only I will tell. So I hope you are enjoying my lecture. Okay, we'll have a good discussion session after this. I'll be completing it shortly, probably around 15 to 20 minutes I'll be completing, and we'll have the discussion. As the sir has told, Jahid sir has told that it's also on YouTube, and you can post your comments, valuable comments and feedbacks on this particular session in the comment section of the YouTube later on at a later period also, and I will get connected with you and be as a sort of a guidance or a mentor for you in your future aspects. Don't worry about that. So, but what you have to see is that the situation, the climate also should help you out, because for 150 years, 200 years, we are going ahead with the internal combustion engines one. Unfortunately, 200 years. We had been trying to make some, what I can tell you, blended fuels, okay, some jatropha, eucalyptus oil and all these things. We are making some modifications in engine. We are going for hybrid engines. We are going for some sort of, what I can say, hydrogen cell development for the engine locomotives and the cars and all that. We have been struggling ahead for the 200 years. But how is that suddenly the solar energy, electrical cars, suddenly they have come into existence? Because of lithium. It is called as white petrol. And those countries which are having vast reserves of lithium are suddenly they have become as the most prosperous countries. You see how the time will change. Okay. And today the oil manufacturing countries, they are looking for diversified routes to establish themselves or to compensate this particular advancements in the lithium, because the lithium is going to, it can store energy to a larger extent, to a larger period. So that is the thing that is making the lithium as the most viable alternative for the electrical cars, solar energy and all these particular things. So sometimes the creativity is there, but the supplementary resources are lacking. That might be also one of the problems. So I will discuss one of the example of one beautiful high school student, Kavya Koppavarpu, in US. Okay, she is only a high school student. Now, of course, she is doing her master's, her graduate studies, a BTech BS program in computer science at Harvard. But this was done, she is Kavya Koppavarpu. She designed an app known as iAgnosis in her high school, +1 and +2. She combined a lot of scans, eye scans, to treat diabetic retinopathy, a progressive degeneration of vision capability of the eye with the result of diabetes. So when she was there in the +1, +2, she got interest to develop an app to treat her grandfather's eye disease. Her grandfather lives in a very remote village in Tamil Nadu. So she is an US citizen. Her education was there in the US. So she designed an app and a 3D printing lens just by the cell phone app. If you take the scan of your eye by means of the camera, that app will say at what stage is the diabetic retinopathy is there, which was earlier not possible. There is to take a lot of images, scans and all that to come to a conclusion. But she designed an artificial intelligence system by just going through the lot of scans she collected, and she worked for about 6 months on this project, and she learned Python and all that. Okay, she was only a high school student, not even an engineering student. And she designed in such a way that the Harvard offered her a free graduate program, okay, in computer science to enable her talents, to enable to improve her talent and design such more apps during her study. Okay, so creativity you can always have. Okay, so my exploration to 3D printing. So I left my job for about 1 year. I had been in the teaching for the last 22 years. I was there in teaching. So I thought I should make something creative and all that. So I left my job and I don't have any idea how, in which way I can be creative. What are the things that I can do creative or whatever things, because creativity makes you active. Creativity develops your productivity. Creativity explores the opportunities to excel yourself in your life. Creativity can give you a financial freedom. Creativity can improve the quality of your life. There are a lot of things associated with creativity. So I just left my boredom teaching job, which I had been doing for the last 2 years. So I could not figure out how could I be creative or whatever things I could do to be creative. I don't know at that point of time. So slowly I started going on online platforms to teach some first year engineering graduate students engineering drawing. Students used to approach by means of the app, okay, which is in Urban Pro in net. So we have to register that as teachers and pay some subscription fee and all that. So I used to get different students from all over India, from IITs and all that. So I used to teach them engineering drawing. So at that time, I got one problem that AutoCAD I was not able to develop onto my laptop. It was around 4.0 GB. It requires license and all that. So I just switched on to one particular freeware software that is only 750 MB, known as FreeCAD. I developed immensely on the FreeCAD. I took a lot of personal training on YouTube on the various FreeCAD forums. I worked for about 6 months. I got so much fascinated with the FreeCAD features, and I developed my own YouTube lectures on that particular aspect. And finally, while going through FreeCAD, some of these FreeCAD YouTube lectures have got a 3D printing capabilities YouTube videos being displayed. So I got interested in 3D printing. Now I got a 3D printer from Mumbai before 6 months. I started working on that. Now I am making so many products of 3D printing. I will show you this. So I can show you these 3D printing products. Okay, this is one more product I can show you. This is a piggy bank. Okay, you can see this. And there is one more. So a lot of products I actually developed with respect to this. Now what I'm trying to do.
Ganesh, please zoom it.
Sir.
Ganesh, please zoom the product. Could not understand.
सर मैं इसको स्क्रीन को थोड़ा स्टॉप शेयरिंग करके 1 मिनट सर 1 मिनट सर मैं दिखा रहा हूँ उस प्रोडक्ट है सर अभी आप देख सकते हैं
Yeah.
So this was one ship, small ship that I have designed and made it 2 days back. I made it. So this was one product.
What is the material?
Material is plastic, sir. Plastic, polylactic acid.
Okay. Good.
This was small box, utility box that I designed. This was a piggy bank where you put money and all that. So these products, the idea is that not developing these products. I am planning to sell it on Amazon, sir. Amazon with the customized emblems. For example, you are saying you wanted to go for what I mean to say with happy birthday for your own name on that. So I can do that. I have practiced and mastered that particular art. I am going to start a new business on Amazon under homemade products, sir. This is not taxable. Okay, this is homemade products. This is coming under category. So that I am exploring out to start a new venture on Amazon, as well as start a training institute on 3D printing, because in this area we don't have that particular facility and all that. So that also I am trying to do, sir. So this 1 year, when I started, I could not figure out whatever I'm going to do in the future. But this 1 year, due to my constant upgradation to the things, and with the pre-CAD I started, then I learned the 3D printing, I got the machine, I got the training on that, my self-training only. So I consulted so many forums, because today you have the advantage of being in the forum. You have a lot of people working on the same area, individually sitting at their home, okay, and sharing the knowledge and trying to enrich the knowledge by means of constant guidance and support, and answering your queries and all that. So there is whole things are happening over here, okay. So you need to take the advantage of that particular technology. So now going back to our share screen. Sir, how much time is left for me?
It is now 10 minutes are there, sir.
10 minutes. Okay, I'll fast. Only 2 more things are there. So here, one more thing is that from the current slide. So another thing that you should have is that planning and time management. So there is also a video, okay, on this particular aspect. So now I will show you the video. So here you should have the proper planning. I just showed you the video of plan, do, check, act. So whatever the task that you have been trying to do, you should analyze your resources. What are your resources? What are your compatibilities? What are your capabilities? To what extent you can sustain the pressure in that particular aspect. So all these things you should plan in advance. That planning will take you a lot of distance during your journey. Another thing is that you should also have a proper time management. Okay, 8 plus 8 plus 8, 8 hours of college or job, 8 hours of relaxing for your mind, become productive, and 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so but unnecessarily this wastage of time, because in the US they go Saturday and Sunday, they go for some sort of what I can tell you, fishing or anything. But in our country, we are seeing that it's an idle time. Okay, we are not giving any importance for the relaxation, and so. But it's very important that 8 hours you should, if you want to become more creative, you should spend time for yourself. Okay, refresh and relax your brain to bring the maximum out of that. And also, these things will actually help you out for proper decision making, and also with the effective time management. So,
Dr. Ganesh,
sir,
if possible, kindly emphasize the life without engineers. If if someone imagine, because might be the audience are not engineer, they are planning to get admission in engineering, or might be interested to get admission in other course. So if you have some ideas regarding the, please emphasize the life without engineer, so that they will be take interest regarding that. Because nowadays the students are not taking care of in engineering itself. So what happens if the engineers are not there after 15 years or 20 years like this?
Yeah. No, sir. My ultimate aim in the showing the slides and all that is that how interesting, how creative, okay, how worth is the engineering. The basic thing of all these particular slides of saying this route map for engineering education and all that is that you can really enjoy and explore the maximum. That is what towards the end I will be coming to that particular end, sir.
Okay.
Because towards the end, that is the essence that I wanted to give, because I want to show all these things, because I want to say how much creative we can become by becoming an engineering graduate, how much effectively we can utilize our resources, our college, our professors, okay, how we can explore new venues in the engineering. That particular facility is not there in the commerce or this any other background, sir. So whatever the engineering that day, I am saying for the mechanical background, I am doing a lot of things in the computer science. I am learning new software packages. Okay, I am doing a lot of things in the 3D printing. I am doing machine learning. So many things and all things I am doing, sir. So that is what I am coming to that end, sir. I am coming to your
Okay.
point. I am coming to your point. So the next thing is that, so you should also try the fourth concept is the upgrade. So planning and time management is third one. We are coming to the last topic of the roadmap. One is the upgrade and upgrade. So you should have this capability of upgradation. So you assume that there is a laptop without USB where you cannot upgrade. There is a problem for that. And when I went to IISc 12 years back, I really learned by the usage of that particular. I purchased one USB for 1400 rupees and got a lot of files and all that. There was a library which was shut down. Earlier it was very big library. Most of the people used to spend almost 16 hours there only. Okay, only 8 hours it used to be shut. Now with the advancement of the internet and all these journals, online journals, it was closed, and I could make a train reservation 12 years back with the help of my friend online. So always you need to upgrade with the technology. So these four things, that is for to make an engineer successful, to make the most of the engineering education, because the engineering where you find the creativity, the solar energy or the materials manufacturing or this particular 3D printing, whatever the things that are there, that are the output of the engineering education. So you can really have the flavor of an engineering education if you have these core qualities. What is that? This happens more because one day I was actually talking to one of the parents. That parent was telling, sir, I want to join my daughter in hotel management. Then I said, sir, I know your daughter is a chess champion and she's got a very good percentage in the probably she at that time she did not write the MSET. Probably she would have written now. This discussion happened some 2 to 3 months back. So if you give that particular, this example I am telling why I prefer engineering for guys, guys or girls. So I told her her parent only one thing. If you can join, sir, that's not a big issue. You can join hotel management, but she is a chess champion and she is very capable. She is highly talented. She is good in studies. If you are going and taking her to hotel management, she will not find any importance or any interest to Indian learning and so. She will not face until she has a flavor. She will not face any creativity. Okay, she will not have all these things and she might feel bored. I told you the flow. She is having a lot of skill set, and but the task is very less. There is no interest in that particular aspect. So this happens in such a way that they lose interest. So engineering is one particular field that you can generate interest, you can generate creativity, you can have a lot of learning and sharing, you can really grow, get a faster pace in your life. You can share the knowledge, you can update. What is the result of this engineering education? Is that the result is enjoy, excel, and enrich your quality of life. That is the wonderful thing that you can have the engineering education. So this is one advice to the parents. We are also parents. What Khalil Gibran said in the prophet around 70 years back was that he says that please don't force your thoughts on the children, because children, if you say don't do it, don't do that, you are asking your children also to be like you. Your children's will be like they are the bows from which your children are as living arrows are sent forth. The archers is the mark. They are destined for very high distance, infinite distances, to explore so many things. Okay, they are actually intended to explore. They are intended to gain. They are intended to achieve a lot of success that we can even see in our dreams. We cannot assume in our dreams. The children of today's generation, they have the infinite capabilities, they have the infinite creativity, they have the infinite thirst to explore far beyond the things that we can. So we should give that freedom to the students. That's what I want to say. You can always write to me for this email, okay, and subscribe to my YouTube videos through this website, that is PKC Ganesh blogs. You can go for the videos. You can find a lot of videos on 3D printing, how to do 3D printing, a lot of videos on the FreeCAD, IELTS, a lot of this social, interactive, and helpful and development videos I have developed. I have put it in my YouTube. You can always subscribe and share and like my videos. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much. And you can also post the things in the comment section. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. If anybody having any question on Zoom, they can post on the chat box. I mean, we can raise your hand. So we will unmute and you can ask the question. And on YouTube, please post your question so that speaker can answer for your question. I think maybe there is no much questions. I think its time is running out, sir. Actually, our allotted time is 7:30 to 8:30. So maybe just from my side, I need to ask one question, because you are a mechanical engineer basically, and you are expert in 3D printing. So how you can see that the opportunities in engineering, especially in 3D printing and mechanical engineering, how it will be?
Sir, 3D printing is the most happening technology today, sir. It's going to revolutionize the manufacturing sector. In whatever the components, there are micro electronic components, MEMS components are coming into the market. Various, they are used in cameras, they are used in automobile sectors and all that. The best way to manufacture that high precision small components, micro components, is 3D printing, sir. 3D printing is going to revolutionize the bio sector, the health sector, and the various manufacturing sectors, as well as electronics and computer science and all these particular things. This will be shortly taken up by the various manufacturing people. That is I have been experiencing so many advantages with the conventional. I have worked with CNC machines 20 years back. Whereas I am working with this compact machine, I'm finding a lot of advantages with respect to the design aspect, manufacturing, and all these things. So 3D printing is going to be a supplementary for the advancements in the mechanical engineering. And we need to put a course, because if we are going autonomous and all that, okay, we need to enhance the capabilities of the employability of these our graduates. So I strongly recommend that we present an elective course in 3D printing. And
so we have, sir, we have this course. Especially, we used to have the additive manufacturing, in that extensively studying about 3D printing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And someday, if it's possible, you can give me some time, 1 or 2 days. I can come and give a training session on 3D printing exclusively for our college students.
Yeah, sure, sir. We will be very happy. We'll be very happy to host you at our institute. Thank you very much for your valuable time, and you enlightened students as well as parents. I think some few parents also there in this session, so they learn a lot of things from you. I think this is a few of your self experiences, and as well as your psychological teacher, right? So that
Yes,
will
sir.
be very much useful for the participants. Thank you very much, sir. I now request Zahir Saab to just conclude the session.
Thank you, Dr. Ganesh.
Thank
You
sir.
consider our request on the last moment and ready to deliver the lecture on our platform. We hope our participants and faculty members and all parents who are attending your lecture will be benefited by your personal experience and your lecture. Hopeful. If they have some question, they will ask through the message itself later.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hi, sir.
already your email is there. So if anybody is there, they can connect you through email. So thank you very much.
We will also explore for some further sessions.
Sure.
Different topics, future.
Maybe future, maybe we can plan something about on 3D printing. Maybe
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
have some
It's a
time.
very good. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nice, sir.
No.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
It's our pleasure to hear you.
Thank you, sir.
Now request participants, thank you very much for taking your valuable time and utilize this session. Still, if you're having any doubts or any clarification, directly you can contact to the speaker. His email ID is already given. So this session is there in the YouTube. So even if you're missed, maybe you can go back and you can have this contact details. So thank you very much to all participants.